Toppling news out of New York today, where disgraced former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez has just learned his fate. A judge sentencing him minutes ago to 11 years in prison. The sentence comes months after Menendez's bribery conviction and hours after his co-conspirators also received lengthy terms behind bars. Through tears today, Menendez pleaded with the judge for leniency, citing what he called a lifetime of service to the country. The once powerful senator was convicted on charges that he sold his clout, acting as an agent of a foreign government and taking bribes worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Menendez received the most severe sentence of anyone convicted.
Breaking news right now, where Bob Menendez is going to be speaking after being sentenced to 11 years in prison. Let's listen.
Regardless of the judge's comments today, I am innocent, and I look forward to filing appeals on a whole host of issues. But let me just say this. This whole process has been nothing but a political witch hunt by the Justice Department's NSD and prosecutors who are more interested in political scalps and preparing to run for public office, like Damian Williams. Only in the Southern District of New York could prosecutors send the jury illegal evidence that violates the judge's order and the Constitution's speech and debate clause, have no accountability as to who or how or what happened, claim that it was critical evidence when they were trying to convince the judge not once but twice that this was critical evidence, and then suggest that after they were caught that in fact it was unimportant. That's outrageous and unbelievable. Only in the SDNY could you embrace an FBI agent who was caught lying on the stand in order to make their case. Only in the Southern District of New York would prosecutors allow a witness to walk away from over 10 criminal charges, including defrauding the United States government, so that they can get him to lie on the stand. Welcome to the Southern District of New York, the Wild West of political prosecutions. President Trump is right. This process is political and it's corrupted to the core. I hope President Trump cleans up the cesspool and restores the integrity to the system.
They asking him, how is this political and it's by Democrats? They don't even get it. They really think that it's all about Republican Democrat. It's really not. It's all about power. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez has been sentenced to 11 years in prison for bribery and corruption. And Bob Menendez, if you're not familiar with who he is, he's not just a senator that's just there. You know, he's not a rookie. He's not somebody that just sits on the sideline. This guy was a major player. These are the committees that Bob Menendez was on. The Committee on Banking, the Committee on Housing, the Committee on Urban Affairs. It's really the Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs all in one. And the U.S. Senate Committee on Finance, and he was on the Committee of Foreign Relations. Now, him being a Democrat, it's rare that you see a Democrat get busted and blasted all across the media, which means he must have forgot to pay homage to somebody or to, grease somebody's palm or kiss somebody's what, because one thing about the Democrat Party is no matter how crazy and psychopathic they are, they stay locked step and they hold everything in house until you step out of line. And when you do that, they'll spank you. Remember what happened to New York Mayor Eric Adams when he was singing the song of how great the sanctuary cities was? He had no problems. The moment he stepped out of line, raid on his home, everything was fine. Then it happened again. He spoke out from frustration, raid on his home, 5-count bribery indictment. So Bob Menendez here, let's see what the New York Post has to say about it. And was really off the hook. He was the chairman of the Committee on Foreign Relations, which means that he oversees what's going on and communicates with these other countries on behalf of the United States. He's supposed to be the one evaluating if our foreign affairs are intact. So when you've got the fox that is watching over the hen house, how successful do you think that's really going to be? How long is it going to be before the fox gets a little hungry or instinct kicks in and just devours all of the hens in the hen house? But this says disgraced ex-New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez cries as he begs for leniency, but gets 11 years in prison for gold bar bribery scheme. He's going from gold bars to prison bars. A teary-eyed Bob Menendez was sentenced to 11 years in prison Wednesday for selling out his Senate office to enrich himself in an infamous corruption case that is forever branded him Gold Bar Bob. The disgraced New Jersey Democrat and former head of the Senate on Foreign Relations Committee cried as he begged the court for mercy after being found guilty of trading favors for foreign governments and businessmen in exchange for cash, gold bars, and even a Mercedes-Benz convertible. Now, I know these senators make, $220,000 a year, and they got all types of other perks. They probably don't eat at restaurants, certain car services, people that just want to be in good with a senator. That's a very powerful position. But when you go beyond that, you're just greedy. I mean, you're in the know and you're touching hands with people that really got big things going on. You could do the Nancy Pelosi, allegedly, and enrich yourself to the tune of $270 million. Obviously she's greasing the right palms. She's in the right circle. Bob did something wrong. And how long has this even been going on? Let's see. Somewhere along the way, you became, I'm sorry to say, a corrupt politician, Stein told the disgraced poll. The sentence was doled out after Menendez's lawyer, Adam Fee, argued in favor of a lesser prison stint, saying the guilty verdict has scarred Menendez's reputation enough. So just because he got busted, that's enough? These Democrats make me sick, because if it was somebody else, think about what they were just trying to do to Trump. And over Trump, we're talking about bookkeeping. His accountant wrote legal expenses over a payment he gave to Michael Cohen, who was his attorney at the time. And the big whoopla was because he used campaign funds he used his personal funds rather than campaign funds. So because he used his personal fund, they took a misdemeanor, and they turned it into a felony that had never been used on anybody else in the history of the United States. Took this man to court over bookkeeping, and every check that he wrote to his lawyer added another count. So those 34 counts, it's not 34 different actions. It's one bookkeeping, one ledger line in a booklet, and 34 times that he paid his attorney over the course of the couple of years that he worked for him. This was the case. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, do me a solid. Hit that like button. I'll never ask you for a cash app. I'll never ask you for a super chat. But you hitting that like button, it is like currency for me. It helps spread the video out to other people. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. On this channel, I share sales strategy and political and current events. So hit that, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, select all, and that way you'll be notified when I upload new videos. Now, in Bob Menendez, you got gold bars, you got cash, you got Mercedes-Benz. Oh, my God. He's lucky that he only got 11 years because he was looking at 30. Despite his record of service, he is now known more widely as Gold Bar Bob, Fee told the court. Menendez, who led a committee tasked with approving massive sums of lethal military aid, did favors for Egypt and Qatar, while go-betweens showered him and his wife, Nadine, with cash, gold bars, the luxury car, checks for a no-show job, and payouts to a sham consulting firm, trial evidence revealed. You stood at the apex of our political system, Stein told Menendez, who sat at the defense table in a black suit and a blue tie. Somewhere along the way, I don't know where it was, you lost your way, and working for the public good became working for your good. The judge ordered Menendez to report to federal prison by June the 6th. Wow. I want to do regular. Well, I don't wonder because I have no desire to find out. But, does everybody get that type of leeway before they go in? That's almost 6 months. He gets to clean up his affairs. And hey, listen, he is a senator. So maybe they take that into account. But, man, good grief. Judge ordered Menendez to report to federal prison by June 6th and did not immediately rule on the fallen poll's bid to stay free on bail pending his appeal of the verdict. Now, oh, my goodness. So he got sentenced. He got till June to turn himself in. Then he could appeal. And an appeal could take years. And he's not a young man. And so the judge is literally pondering whether he should sit him in prison or let him stay out while he's on bail. What do you think would happen if that was a Republican? What do you think would happen if that was Trump? What do you think would happen if that was you? Man. So despite the emotional display for the judge, Menendez's demeanor shifted outside court, where he claimed to reporters that the case was a political witch hunt. despite the fact that he's a Democrat and the charges were brought by a Democrat-led Department of Justice under former President Joe Biden. Reading from a statement on a piece of paper, Menendez then made a plea to President Trump, who he has reportedly been lobbying for a pardon. Trump has yet to speak out about Menendez's case, and Menendez voted in favor of impeaching Trump twice during his first term. President Trump was right, Menendez claimed Wednesday. This process is political and is corrupted to its core. I hope President Trump cleans up the cesspool and restores the integrity to the system. When asked repeatedly why he was claiming the case was political, given that it was brought against him by another Democrat, former Manhattan U.S. Attorney Damian Williams, Menendez slunk away and walked to a waiting car without answering. Agents who raided the Menendezes cluttered Inglewood Cliffs house in June 2022 found 13 gold bars worth $150,000 tucked inside a bedroom safe. Nearly $500,000 in cash was spread out all over the house, including wads of bills totaling $14,500 piled into a pair of Timberland work boots and cash-filled envelopes stuffed into the pockets of his official Senate jacket. He was already getting ready, had the envelopes ready, stuffed so he can get the grease and palms when he got on the Senate floor, allegedly. You think he was the only one taking money? I don't believe that. I believe if they keep scratching. Listen, in my opinion, I know on both sides we got some people that may not be the most upstanding, but I truly believe that with the pardons that Joe Biden gave out like that over the whole J6 committee, over his entire family, over Hunter Biden from 2014 to 2025, 11 years. And it's coming out now that this may not have even been legal, what he did. Even pardon Dr. Fauci. Now, isn't the Democrat Party the ones that say no one's above the law, except for if your last name is Biden, or except if you're on the J6 committee, or except if you Antifa or BLM and you burning down police stations and hurting police officers and stuff like that, you're above the law. Because all those groups of people I just named had zero done to them when they were caught being corrupt, when they were caught being violent, when they were caught being anti-American. So 2 tiers of justice. Trump has helped expose that. Menendez did not testify during the 9-week trial, but his older sister tried to downplay the cash trove as innocuous. Decades-long habit stemming from his distrust of banks due to their Cuban heritage. This lady wants you to believe that her senator brother from Cuba, who pulled himself up by his bootstraps and worked his way to become a U.S. senator, doesn't trust banks, even though he was on the Committee of Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. These people make me sick. They'll just lie to you. I'm talking about with no problem. It's a Cuban thing. Caridad Gonzalez testified, kind of like Fannie Willis. You know, she just keep cash laying around. You know, her daddy always told her to keep cash in case a man take her on a date and he don't want to pay. She just keep cash around for years, you know. Get out of here. Everything is digital pretty much nowadays. Prosecutors had asked the judge to sentence Menendez to at least 15 years in prison. They pointed out that the case was the first time that any U.S. senator or a public official, for that matter, was found guilty as serving as an illegal foreign agent while in office. Menendez, who swore an oath to represent the United States in the state of New Jersey, instead put his high office up for sale in exchange for his hoard of bribes, the feds wrote. Defense attorneys had urged the judge to have mercy on Menendez and impose a sentence of less than 2 years. The guilty verdict has already rendered him a national punchline and stripped him of every conceivable professional, personal, and financial benefit, the lawyers argued in court papers. Prosecutors at trial laid out a staggering slew of actions Menendez took between 2018 and 2022 on behalf of foreign nations and his alleged cronies, including businessman Wael Hana, he's 40, and Fred Daves, 66, who were also convicted of funneling bribes to the senator and his wife. What else can the love of my life do for you? Nadine Menendez asked an Egyptian official while her international affairs honcho hubby smoked cigars and swigged red wine at a May 2019 meeting at Morton Steakhouse. An FBI agent who secretly observed the scene testified. They're out eating Morton's. And listen, I've been to Morton's. Nice place. Most people know about Ruth Chris. Morton Steakhouse is phenomenal. But a steak is a steak. But back to what we're talking about. So his wife is talking to the Egyptians like, so what can my hubby do for you? While he's sitting over there, sitting like a big boss, got his cigar, got the red wine, probably is the best of wines too. When you're getting gold bars and got $500,000 in cash and you the chairman of the Committee on Foreign Relations, man, they giving you the best of the best, right? They want to grease them palms because they want to be able to get some type of a aid from the U.S., $1 billion for Caterpillar research or some crap like that for them to get over there, chop up, spread out amongst the bigwigs, amongst the oligarchy, right? It's just nuts. Let's look at what he had to say because Menendez did come out and he spoke. And you want to know something funny? All of these people, they love Trump when they get in trouble. They love Trump when they get in trouble. But prior to that, oh my God, they all had so much to say about President Trump, didn't they? They didn't like this man. Bob Menendez voted twice to impeach him. Now, he may have to ask the man.
Breaking news right now.
He's asking the man for help, just like Mayor Eric Adams asking Trump for help. This may become a thing where you're going to see Democrats that keep getting busted reaching out to Trump for help. The same man they tried to lock up, the same man they tried to impeach. Now they need him. That's why you never know. You never know. You got to be careful who you violate, who you step on, because you might have to run back into them. None of these libtards expected that Trump was going to come back and regain the presidency. They did not think that. If they did, they wouldn't have made the moves that they did, because everything they did was to subvert him. From the 51 fake CIA and FBI officials saying Russia, 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 to them spying on his first campaign, to the lies, to E. Jean Carroll's crazy story, who many say came from an episode of Law and Order, to Stormy Daniels, who wrote 2 letters saying nothing ever happened. But then in 2024, all of a sudden, she remembers something happened. This is after, in case you don't know, Stormy Daniels lost the defamation lawsuit to Donald Trump and owes him $500,000 prior to her testifying. You think that had an impact on her willingness or whether she had a motive? Michael Cohen, the attorney where the whole 34 counts thing was found perjuring himself to Congress, obstructing justice, was sentenced to prison for 3 years, spent time in the hole. And this was their star witness, who every legal analyst said would never hold up in a court of law. He was sentenced to prison for lying to Congress. That's what he went to prison for perjury. And so do you not think he had a vendetta against Trump? You know why? Because he was Trump's lawyer when it came to his affairs, just as far as Mar-a-Lago and other stuff. But when Trump went to the White House, he did not take Michael Cohen. And they say, allegedly, that pissed him off. And so he was working hard to try to get in Trump's good graces, which is why, based on the story, he went out and somehow came up with this thing to pay Stormy Daniels. That was all Michael Cohen. It's out now. And that's why that case is going to be overturned. But I digress. Why do you think they were so worried and scared about Trump coming back in? Oh, yeah, because they know what they were doing. Democrat Party is all about deflection. If you want to know what they're doing, just pay attention to what they're accusing other people of doing, and you'll know exactly what's going on. But I just wanted to jump in. Hey, listen, if you like this content, you enjoying this video, do me a solid. Hit that like button. Other than that, I'm Brian Maxwell. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out.